Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariah and here on my channel I post things physiotherapy, lifestyle and travel related. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, notification bell to all so you never miss a video. I'm just going to jump right into this. Obviously, if you clicked on this video, you either have a job in mind that you want to apply for, or you're looking ahead in the future and you're still a physio student and wondering, what can I put in my, supporting evidence? What is supporting evidence, etc., etc. I'm going to cover that all for you in this video. Let's move on. First things first, what is supporting evidence? Supporting evidence is like a cover letter. It's like your personal statement you would send for university, but for your job. Now, when I say it's like a personal statement for university, that's slightly different. So with university, with your personal statement, obviously you cover like, I did this previous degree that makes me appropriate. Similarly, you do that here, but it's slightly different. Now, with supporting evidence, this is your opportunity to be like, yeah, I have the qualifications, or yeah, I've experienced said rotations, or I would like to, I've experienced said placements as a student, etc. That's your opportunity to really dive into that and talk about that a bit more in that sense. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but I know for myself, before I applied for my first job, I never wrote a cover letter. I was a bit like, stressing and trying to look on the internet for examples, trying to look on the internet to help guide me as to what is expected of me in supporting evidence. And when I look back on my supporting evidence for my first job, I think I did a pretty decent job in terms of being able to show the evidence that I have to be qualified for said role that I was applying for, but also be able to portray my personality in it, which landed me an interview for the other jobs I applied for, which obviously, it's a good thing to be able to say, and it's good to be able to hit the nail on the head the first time around, especially if that's the dream place that you plan on working at. So now you're thinking, okay, I now know what supporting evidence is, but what do I put in my supporting evidence? Now, knowing what to put in supporting evidence is usually spoon-fed to you, to be honest. When you're looking at a job, if you're looking, let's say we're on NHS track. You're on NHS track and you scroll down, you see a job you're interested in, you're like, I like this rotational band 5 position. Let me know more. So you have like your normal paragraphs speaking a little bit about the trust, speaking a little bit about what the role has to offer, etc. But if you scroll down on that job application, or that job advert, let's say, and you look down on the right, at the bottom, there should be some PDFs, roughly about 3 to 4 PDFs. One of them is going to be the main one that you're going to focus on, which is the job description. Now in that, typically what they will do is they will bullet point the essential criteria and the desired criteria. So with your essential criteria, you're obviously going to get things like you need to have your HCPC registration, you need to have passed a degree, etc. But in your desired, it could be like, it would be nice if you were a CSP member. It would be nice if you had experience in neuro, but it's not required because this is a rotational position. It would be nice if you've done blah, 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 blah. Now, with this statement, you're obviously going to want to focus on the things that are essential. Like, before you even think about applying for them, do I cover the essential stuff? Yes? Cool. Do I cover any of the desired stuff? Perfect. Let's sprinkle that in when we write our supporting evidence as well, because why not? You know what I mean? These are like extra brownie points per se that you gain by having that extra desired stuff that maybe not everybody has. Now, I just want to backtrack a little bit. When it comes to, like, I gave the example of like CSP membership and stuff, it's not a requirement for jobs. So if you're worried about that, that's not something that like a job is allowed to judge you on in terms of being like, oh, you have one, you don't have one, like they can't do that. But getting back on track with things, so you put the stuff that they're asking in it, you put that there, all the essential stuff, some of the desired stuff, etc. Try and sprinkle your personality into when you're writing that statement. Another thing you can put into it is obviously trying to display your NHS core values, like display that you obviously hold those values, and giving examples, etc., to cover the trust values as well, because many cases they overlap, as they should overlap between the NHS and the trust values, but you want to show that you hold the stuff that would make you a good fit for that trust, but also make you a good clinician and appropriate to work in the NHS. Now, you've got all those things down pat, You're about to write it down, you've got your examples, you've got your blah blah blah, and you're wondering how long is too long, how short is too short. Now, there's no textbook answer on how long is too long, how short is too short. Yes, they give you a limited amount of characters, don't ask off the top of my head. It's on the NHS track, I probably should have checked before, but I completely forgot, I'm so sorry. But for me, when I look back on the statements that I wrote, my statement applying for my first job, the statement was a page and a half, and my statement applying for this band 6 secondment that I'm currently on was not even 500 words. And when I was writing this band 6 one, I was stressing because I was like, oh, this is so short, like, this is a joke, but I also don't know what else I'm going to put in here without repeating myself. And I didn't want to repeat myself, obviously. So what I'm trying to say here is that it doesn't really matter the length. Like, I was still able to get interviews with both lengths because I clearly covered the key information that they were looking for that made me a desirable applicant. I think as long as you cover the key points, it don't matter. You know, it don't matter. Now, one question that I imagine people are going to ask, similarly to when it comes to personal statements, people will ask, can I use the same statement for all places? Now, I know when it comes to, if you, let's say, we go back to university and you did an undergrad, you typically applied through UCAS if you're in the UK. That's slightly different. You only have that one application, that one statement that you can use to upload to UCAS, so it has to be broad enough to tailor all the universities that you're looking at. Whereas it differs with the masters, and I would always advise people that when it comes to like a master's degree, for instance, that you would tailor your statement depending on the university versus using one statement for all. I think it's an opportunity that you're not always given, especially in undergrad. You're not given the opportunity to sales pitch yourself to that specific university. So why would you not make the most of it? Similarly, I think the same thing when it comes to applying for trust, applying for qualified roles. Yes, you could use the same statement. Don't ask me about the plagiarism rules on that. I'm not sure if they, check for plagiarism in the same way that they would with UCAS. I imagine they do, but I'm not sure to the extent. But I'm kind of like, it's lazy, in my opinion. Make the most of the opportunity you've been given to tailor it to the university, tailor it to the institution, tailor it to the job, etc. And, of course, again, tailor it. So I wouldn't use the same for all. I didn't use the same for all for my first job as a band 5. I applied for 3 different trusts and I tailored the statement to each of those 3 trusts and got interviews for all 3 trusts. And I like to think it's on the fact that, 1, I wrote a good statement, but 2, on the fact that I made the effort to tailor it to the state, to said trust, so they felt, oh, wow, like they may have thought to themselves, I might be the only place she's applying for because of how detailed she's going in about why she desires to work for us. Yeah. I won't go any more into that. Other things that with supporting evidence that I think you definitely need to hit is obviously trying to make it as concise as possible, showing like little sprinkles of your personality, and I mean in the sense of just like how you write it. You want to show bits of your personality in that sense. I don't necessarily per se make jokes. I do write, I will admit, when I'm applying for jobs, and I've always been like this, some would say cocky, some people would say confident. I go with a little bit of both. Because the way I see it, and this is my cocky mindset now, is that when I apply for a job or I'm applying for said job, I know I have said qualifications, and that doesn't mean that other people don't have said qualifications, but I'm aware that I have the qualifications that I have, and I've done the experience that I have that gets me to a point where I'm not necessarily entitled, but I'm not in the wrong position to speak in a cocky manner because I have the evidence to back up why I'm good at what I'm good at and why I've done what I've done, etc. If you catch where I'm going with this. I'm not saying go in there and be like, you need to hire me because blah 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 and I've got all of this, do it in a tasteful manner. Way I've written things in the past is kind of just like, I've said qualifications, this is why we both know I'd be a great fit for the role, It's cheeky, now don't get me wrong, you can't pull it with everywhere. It doesn't necessarily sit well with everybody. Not everybody likes the forward, being like, come on now, type of vibe, but it's worked for me. I'm not saying go out there and be, you know, cocky with everything, but I'm just saying know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and get a little bit your personality in there. I can be very cheeky sometimes, and it gives them a good read on who I am. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to overflow you guys with too much information, so I'll wrap this video up here. But that's what your supporting evidence is, kind of like a personal statement, but not a personal statement per se. You want to cover all the key factors that they're asking for you, and good luck. That's what I'm going to say. It's good luck, guys. Hopefully you get those interviews, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye, guys.